Welcome back, Divine Feminine. We're here to cover your read. Yes, you're in the right place. I am your host, Yildiz from Yildiz Readings. I cover the twin flame path, all things esoteric as well as astrology. I'm a psychic medium, and we do cover these weekly. So we have the masculine, feminine, and karmic out as we speak. And without further ado, we're going to get into this read. Now, these readings actually have been, I would say, for the last few months, really having a conversation piece together. So I definitely, before you make any brash move, if you have, don't worry, the sky won't fall down. However, you may need to see this because this can link to your belief systems, especially because 9 times out of 10, a lot of you are very intuitive and psychic, and you can actually be quite plugged in and connected to that individual. So how you're feeling in your direct body can inadvertently be signals from the connection, because we have sort of like this plug into those individuals. Separately, if you are in communication, this is also going to resonate. And, we need to really be quite careful moving into this week. More so, I would say, because we're recovering. Okay, we move through the eclipse portals, retrogrades. We are going to have an opportunity this month to actually start planting some seeds and have some forward momentum. But I feel what we need to understand is there was a lot we were unpacking at the beginning of the month. And we do need to get ourselves anchored in and grounded. We're moving into a full moon in Libra, and that's occurring on the 2nd of April at 12 degrees. So really, coming into balance, coming into harmony, you within your divine feminine energy as a Venusian frequency, you may have heightened emotions. And also it could be that you desire to have some justice, some balance, some fairness, some equality. We just have to be careful with that, because we have the moon in the house of Libra, and the shadow sign at the moment is sitting in Saturn and Neptune. So there can be some old emotions that are coming up, and we do see this coming through in your card reading. Now, although I would say your crowning energy, this can be playing out in 2 ways, and this is why I said you need to see this now. If you feel at any point that you are ready to projectile, and I don't mean be unwell, I mean like whoop ass, tell people what you think. I would say, overconfidence, overzealous, or feeling almost emotionally frustrated. You could have a lot of things around family going on. I mean, we have the yellow chakra. The moon is going to be in Libra. So for you guys, you might want to get your house in order. You might want to beautify things. You might be looking at money. You could be feeling as though you want to look after your body, but you feel tired and you're tired of being in the way you are living at the moment, and you just want change. Now, you do have the creative chakra, so this is a very positive thing. But where it does come to your romantic sector of life, there can be some fluctuations of confidence here, but it could be something you're meditating upon. Now, as to the spiritual connection, we do actually see that coming through here. In the past position, it is in the past position. Now, there is a spiritual element to this. There are some things that can come back around. Yes, they can come back around in positive ways. We can start harmonizing and balancing things. But your reading really does match the masculines, okay? I think both of you do need to ease up a little bit, not go too fast. You're going to have plenty of time this month to be able to achieve certain targets. But I would definitely say, especially in your heart chakra, there can be a lot changing, again, where it comes to family and home. It's like, do I feel safe? Do I feel protected? How do I actually put some roots down so I can actually stabilize myself? And although we're still with the North Node in Pisces, and if you don't understand that, it really doesn't matter. Where we will move, where we are to where we're moving, we're doing 2 things this year. We are still dealing with old subject matters to a degree, but we're definitely, for the first time in a very long time, going to be having some new chapters, listening to our intuition, hearing our heart's desires, being open to having these new beginnings, which I think even those of you on this path, it has been a while since that's been possible. So be it you're in the connection, albeit you directly are looking in at it and wondering where it's at, this is both going to resonate, especially because when I've been channeling these messages, they actually have been quite significantly linking to both parties here in life having a re-identification, both parties in life having a revelation about what's important, who's there for them, where maybe some toxic situations you needed to end, you need to cut off because it just didn't resonate with you anymore. Now, like I said, I did pre-warn you. I have pre-warned you. Be patient with yourself. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't not acknowledge your feelings. And yes, 100% if you need to communicate, communicate. But this first 3 cards after the purple are really talking about feeling either triggered, hurt, betrayed. Could these be old things? Yes. Could you want to address them right here, right now? You could. It can be an opportunity due to the lunation to honor the tears, better out than in, to keep hydrated, to self-nurture, to turn into self and to love thyself and, all your feelings. Don't discount them. When I talk about being aware and not projecting to another, it has nothing to do with whether or not they do or don't deserve it. It's got to do with divine timing. There is a time and a place for everything. Just if somebody has lacked integrity towards you, it doesn't mean we have to match that frequency. We can still honor ourselves. We can still actually show up in an assertive manner. But if we're really tired, it's like going shopping hungry. We're going to buy more. So, like I said, there's a natural flow, just like in Mother Nature. And at the moment, it could be that you really need a lot of care. So you're needing the care, honor and respect that. And just take 5, because I think you also could be tuning into them psychically. You could be picking up on some frustration. You could feel it's quite doomed. Nothing in the astrology is showing that relating to brand new beginnings. Now, foundation. I do think very similar to the divine masculine. I do feel you are going through a process, and by week's end, there is going to be a bit more confidence. Now, if you push, things can be prolonged. We don't want to do that, especially based on your willpower as your crowning energy, and your outcome card is accepting. Now, I am, for you, going to pull a clarifier on that. So you got... No, like you got the clairvoyant card in reverse. Could it be that you're not believing the reading? Yeah, it could be. Could you be thinking, I do know the truth, I have the answer inside myself, or it doesn't really matter? You could be. Now, truth is a bit of a pill to swallow, but truth is individual. Truth belongs to the individual who feels it. You could, yeah, it's like you're, in some ways, you feel, I do think a lot of you want to see it, feel it from the 3D. Okay, so sometimes we can tie from certain things. Other times it can be, then we're paranoid about it regardless. So it's like we might as well have, gone and got a coaching session or done a healing session or had a booking. So there's a bit of a contradiction happening here. In one breath, it's like, no, I don't need a reading, but then the paranoia of everything's going pear-shaped and your imagination getting away with you. And not feeling worthy. And could this be happening to move you into worthiness? It could be. Do I think the divine masculine is moving through at the moment? Yes, but I do think we do tend to make more positive decisions when we're rested. So if you are feeling tired, if you are feeling triggered, if you're feeling that you keep trying to build your dreams in general in your life and it's just not happening, they're showing there's a slight delay, but if you build it, they will come. That's what I'm being shown. And I do think as you are, having the priority, it's almost like you're going to be given what you need. And then what you want is also going to be received. But it's more because you are You're having less attachment. What do you need to accept, her? You know what I'm hearing? For some of you, you know this is a fact. You know, having diabolical circumstances in relationships, say you had 2 relationships in your life, or you had 3, or you had 1, and it was, you know, a real full-on situation with your counterpart, they take a toll. They take a toll. Now, if you are here today and you're still standing and you're recovering, it's because you have learned to love yourself. You're like, you know what, this isn't personal. Was it okay? No. It takes me back to, I love her song, Whitney Houston. She was meant to live forever, that woman. I'll get the name. It's not right, but it's okay. Where are the lyrics? Such a beautiful song. And I was like, the leather, the eyes, the hair, it was all there. Such a beautiful woman. It's not all right. It's not right, but it's okay. You know, it's about betrayals. It's about really loving someone and that person thinking that you're an absolute idiot and you don't see the hope of the clouds. And there's all the signs everywhere, right? And when we get hurt, do we get smarter or do we get more paranoid? I think a bit of both. And then you get tired of that because you realize we are not another person's parent. And, you know, I, over the years, have had certain positions in my chart. We're destined to have diabolical circumstances happen. It's how I'm wired. Do I like it? No. I wasn't like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. But, you know, that pain, when you move through it, you learn to do things differently. And exactly how she said it. It's not right, but it's okay. Because I'm going to make it anyway. Like, I'm not going to chase you to be a good person. This is where pure acceptance comes in. It's not about hating the other person or putting them down or, you know, when we know better, we do better. So can people change? Yes, people can change. 100%. People can change. Sometimes through being forced due to external circumstances. Sometimes due to a complete desire because you don't want to feel the way you do anymore. But yes, people can change. So therefore, we can only base it upon day by day and not, okay, it's it, I quit. It's never going to be. Because that is, I'm telling you, that Neptune and Saturn, it's going to challenge you guys. It's going to be like, you know, what is worth your passion? What's your passion? Where's your creativity? Where's your confidence? Believe in yourself. You're a wolf. Got another song for you. Shakira, she-wolf. You're a she-wolf. You've got this. If you don't, book a reading. Follow us. Come and join our super chats. Get that vibration high. Know what you're worth. You're going to get your goal. Whatever that be, I'm behind you. You're going to get your goal. Now, we do have our Sage in a Circle network. You can join. We do have the sign-up form via the website. And if you do need a booking or you want to get any of our blogs, jump on our website, download our app, and you have free as well as paid options. So it's free. Come and join us. See you next time.